What's up, guys? It's the Carp here, back with another episode of Making America Great, and today we have the results of the 2029 season, and this one's going to be a little bit longer than the last episode. If you guys missed it, go check it out, but there wasn't too much that changed in the squad, but there are a few new players here and there that played this year. But let's start off with the Player of the Year again. So as you can see, Giovanni Reyna won it, and pretty deservedly so. Great stats as always, but 20 goals, 8 assists in 25 games. Really, really good record, and really he's been tearing it up for Liverpool pretty much since the second he got there. Other than that first season, which he was probably getting used to the Premier League after being at Schalke. But after that, he's really been just incredible every year. And he's managed to get himself 45 goals in 105 appearances for the national team. Pepe there was 72 and 81, getting second place for the second year in a row. But he managed to get himself 25 goals and 6 assists in 35. Really a breakout season for him there, and hopefully he can continue that. He's got 13 goal contributions in 17 this year. And then Busio managing to make it in with New York Red Bulls again. 3 goals, 14 assists in 35 games there from center mid. Very nice stuff. But we can then look at the young player. Didn't go over this one last year, but it's to be expected. Nate Richards in there. Alex Kiff actually. That's one of the players that's kind of new to the squad. Really decent stats. Surprisingly, he's kind of went up in stats at the age of 23. Really is when he started becoming the player he is now. But he's played a few games, and then Dest in there, who is now at Barcelona, made his big money move. He's not played yet, unfortunately, but he is at least training at a top club. And then this season, this is what we're looking at here because Paul Reeves has won it really out of nowhere. He's got pretty good stats, but he's not yet played for the national team. And Delgado, another new player, center back there, he could manage to make it in. Diachenko, not the most incredible players, so Delgado could push his way into the squad potentially. And then Eric Evans having a decent season as well. But if we look at the fixtures for this year, we've played a lot of games. So starting off with a couple friendlies and then World Cup qualifiers, and then we got the Gold Cup. This one was a little tougher, 7-0 against French Guiana in the group, and then 4-0, 3-0, 2-0, not conceding a goal until Mexico in the semifinal, which we did take all the way to penalties, 3-3 after extra time, but then again 3-0, easy does it in the final against Honduras. Mexico still the only team that's anywhere near our quality in CONCACAF. And then we got more World Cup qualifiers. We did manage to drop some points against the British Virgin Islands there, but we've qualified from that group. We're going to be at the World Cup again, as to be expected. But unfortunately, we did lose the only game of this year against Italy 2-1 in a friendly. But if we look at the rankings, we have managed to finally break into the top 5. So only, I think, 14 more points off of last season, but a lot of teams around us drop points. In Italy, you can see second place in the world, so definitely no easy game there. So I don't really mind losing that one, but it is unfortunate to lose any game. But 5th place, I want to say it's the highest the United States has ever been. Pretty confident about that, but I couldn't tell you for sure. But hopefully we can keep on going and get to that first place after this World Cup. If we win it, I would say we're definitely going to be at least top 3. And then hopefully it won't take too much longer after that to reach there. But let's take a look at the current squad now. So, if we look here, Pulisic is still the most capped player, 138, 62 goals there. But McKennie is catching him up. And he has the potential to, because McKennie is, at this point, more of a vital player for the national team. He plays pretty much every game. Pulisic, incredible stats, but we do have a lot of really good forwards in this team. Reyna breaking 100 appearances, as you've seen earlier. Tyler Adams going to get close, but he might not quite make it to 100. Busio, 83 now, 14 goals in there is pretty good from him. And Pepe, as you've seen earlier, Diachenko. Dest is back in the squad, but again, he mostly plays as a substitute. He does at the very least, get some assists from crossing into our strikers, who most of them do have decent heading or decent aerial in this game. But if you look here, you can see Kiff that you've seen earlier making 3 appearances, scoring 2 goals. So that's one new player on the side. Muse has managed to make his way into the side, 10 appearances now. Again, mostly as a substitute though. And then Lema has actually made it in. 16 passing, 17 dribbling. Great pace, stamina, and strength. Decent decisions positioning as well. So a really good player there, 23 years old. Could see him making a move pretty soon to a top European team. And then Konopka with 7 goals and 17, and he's actually got really good stats. At 23, just recently moved to Everton. Hasn't quite, he didn't quite break into the team too much in the first season, but now he's got 8 goal contributions in the 13 so far this year. So not too bad from him. And then Thirjung here with 10 goals in 18 games. That's one of those players I was talking about. He's pretty much replaced Sargent at this point, just because Sargent's main thing was that he was a target man. But Thirjung is younger. He can also play at right or left wing. And then let's see, Caleb Campbell, 12 goals in 28. Again, mostly as a substitute, but he's still got plenty of time to improve. Fides really making his way into the side. Feilhaber, an incredible player, still only worth 8.75 million. But if we look here, let's just see. Those were all the American players that I'd scouted in there. Oh, I checked the wrong thing. I need to. There we go. That's what we want. So, Brooks has retired by this point. He was at 111 appearances when he did retire. But as you can see, Sargent isn't even in the national setup anymore. He's not got the best of stats, and he's 29 years old now. No longer at PSG. He's got 6 goal contributions in 12 games so far. But he got 6 and 15 before moving. Really, his last great season was 27-28. His club level, performances were really the only thing keeping him in the national side. He's not nearly as prolific, with the United States. So that's why he's no longer there. But he is still pretty high on our top scorers list. Ricardo Pepi really just going, running away with it at this point. Pulisic, Reyna, the names you'd expect. Sargent, Weah. But hopefully some of our new forwards can sort of break in here. Carlton at this point no longer in the squad. But really, if you go by value, you can see just how good our national team is at this point. Plenty of depth. Lots of players worth 15 million plus. Sort of around that range. Lots of promising players. So definitely making some big progress. Hopefully, we can get pretty far in the World Cup, which will be next year. I think the groups have already been drawn. We got a pretty easy one, but it's to be expected with this format, which, again, I don't like the 3-team format, but Slovenia and Saudi Arabia should be able to make it out of that group pretty easily, and then hopefully we can make it pretty far. That will be in the next video. If you guys like this one, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.